SMT Nation, We Back Nation. Verizon is represented at an investor conference, and they gave us a lot of disclosures about what's going on currently with the business, some stuff that's happening on the consumer side, what's working for them, what the plan is for the rest of the year, and other details. I'm going to cover part of that here in today's video. There'll be other videos. I'm going to break them down into segments so that way it's obviously more defined and we can keep the video content, to an acceptable fashion. All right, so the placeholder article here from the press release for the Verizon.com News Center. I'll provide a link for that in the description for you to follow along to their 2023 year and how it is going forward. Ways to support us can be found in the description where that link is as well. Please do like and share this video. Help out the channel. Big shout out to the SMT Nation. Thanks for supporting us. All right, so at the investor conference, represented by their CFO, Tony Skiadas, he spoke to what this year is going to be about, right? 2024. Basically, we were guided on this, in January, but sometimes investors want an update after, a quarter into the year or so. So basically what it is for Verizon, the growth areas are broadband, which is your home internet and business internet, mobile services, and then also private networks. And for that one, it's more early adoption. We'll talk about that in a later video. Some of the accounts that they got in business look really good. Tony mentioned the Cleveland Clinic, NFL, Audi, NHL, BlackRock, to name a few. He spoke about business and consumer broadband connectivity. The mobile consumer side of the business is getting better. The business side is still strong, and then stores, retail is selling better. We're going to talk a little bit about that in at a later time, but macro environment, he says everything's kind of pre-pandemic, relative to like payment scheduling, and customers are showing stability. Verizon skews a little older guys, so a more affluent, wealthy customer base that's with consistent income, right? Now with respect to the consumer growth, and you guys are consumers like me, we're just regular consumer customers. He spoke to MyPlan, and he said, the introduction of MyPlan, now that it's kind of like almost a year in, it'll be a year in May, where you pay for the perks you want and you choose your network experience. MyPlan now has 13 million subscribers, which is 18% of the base. So I know a lot of people say they don't like MyPlan. I think that's a loud minority. I think when people go to Verizon and they see the way it's constructed, they seem to actually take it. 13 million subs. And a majority of these customers are taking the premium options, which in turn boosts Verizon's ARPA. All right, now he did take a shot at, I think, T-Mobile, quote, free lines are a gimmick, right? And, part of the allure of the MyPlan for Verizon is, and this is kind of interesting. He said MyPlan is an AI-based model, which is interesting, right? So that means there's synergies and cost reductions in that, right? So along with the MyPlan, you've got the new market structure changes, right? They're closer to the customer, more localized deals, promotions, and regionalization on the retail side, as well as with the network piece, right? And of course, they changed the sale comp structure. So now, agents, sellers are rewarded for sales and not, on a team-by-team basis. But it does show in the Q4 numbers that this is working. So it's interesting to see what seems to be working for them. We'll see if the momentum remains strong in Q1. He didn't offer any particular guidance on that or clues or hints. But he did talk a little bit about prepaid, so you guys know track phone. The quote here is, "We have work to do there. Structural shifts are ongoing." So, he mentioned the migration of customers. ACP is a bit of a problem there. They are scaling with the Total by Verizon, 700 new stores in 2023. You're probably going to see more of that this year. And then, of course, Visible having a little bit of traction as the low-cost platform with no overhead. And he did say to anticipate some improvements at the end of this year or into early next year. So that's kind of interesting. We still got to wait for improvements from prepaid. And to kind of wrap things up here, which all customers care about, is price hikes. Folks, listen to these numbers. 32 million lines had price increases from the most recent price hike to the legacy mix and match lines. So the 5G do more, 5G get more, that generation of plan, 32 million lines. And we're talking about a $4 per line increase. That's going to be a spike to free cash flow. and then the $3 to $5 per line on the business side for similar legacy plans. And he did not rule out the possibility in the future to potentially have another hike or something like that. So I think they asked him about the potential of it. He didn't want to comment on it, but he didn't rule it out. And that's just something that, these types of businesses won't do. That's what this video contains for you guys today. We're going to discuss fixed wireless access and broadband at a later time. We'll talk the MVNO and cable deals in another video. We'll talk about the business customers as well, and then also CapEx. That'll be in a separate video. I just wanted to keep this one under, 7 or 8 minutes, just so it wasn't too long. But comment and tell me what you guys think of some of those numbers. Some interesting stuff there on the price hikes and the impacted lines, prepaid, the consumer growth, and the success of MyPlan and other segments, and of course, the general tone from Tony Skiatis. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. For the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.